Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm Karen Brook. Welcome to the Mind and the Money Masterclass. We are so thrilled to have you join us for the next 3 days for this very powerful free masterclass. I also want to introduce you to Elizabeth Wood, who is joining us from my team today, and Simone Bertram. They will be facilitating the chat with you and your support over the next 3 days. And a big thank you from myself to them for everything that they do for our community. Also, a big welcome to you joining us live today or via the recording. It's great to see some familiar names on the list today and on the registration list, but also some brand new faces to our community. So I really want to give you a very warm welcome, and I want you to know that you have attracted this for a reason. Nothing happens by accident. We are always attracted exactly where we need to be, and today is no different. You are meant to see this masterclass, you are meant to click that button and register for it, and you are meant to be here. So do not let this become shelf help. Make a decision right now today. You are going to act on the information that you hear today. You are going to integrate it with your behavior. You see, it's very easy to attend a class like this and for it to let it be shelf help, to just hear the information, but not really integrate the information with your decision making and your behavior. So this week, at every opportunity, I want you to really be looking to see how you can take and use this idea. When you hear me share an idea, you hear me share a suggestion, go and move into action with it right away, because when you do, you will be amazed at what begins to unfold in your life. We are going to have the chat open over the next 3 days, so please connect with each other on the chat. Share your takeaways. If there's a breakthrough, if there's a little idea that you get, share the little light bulb emoji symbol. Let us know that was a little breakthrough idea for you. And sort of hold yourself accountable to staying present on the call here. A little bit more housekeeping. If you have your phone with you, please turn it to silent and put it face down or away from you so that your energy can be completely present here on the call. If you have other computers open or devices open, close them and put them away. Clear some space for yourself at your desk. Have your workbook with you. Hopefully you've had a chance to print off the workbook this morning already. You might have a journal next to you and a pen to take some extra notes. But relax, really relax, and bring yourself to this call, because that's very important. My coaching doesn't just work at the physical level. It works, and it works so deeply and powerfully because we work with the whole of you. The spiritual side of you, the intellectual side of you, the emotional side of you, and the physical side of you. So as I'm making these little suggestions to you at the start of day one, it's to make sure that you can be fully open to receive everything that is here for you, not just the intellectual information that I'm sharing with you, but all the guidance that you receive along with that information. Type me a yes in the chat if you are ready to go. A big capital YES in the chat if you are ready to go. I love it. Amazing. Good job. Keep that coming. Get used to sharing on the chat. Get used to sharing and connecting and putting it out there and clearing those energy pathways that you can receive more. And this is a great environment to do it in. Coming onto a class like this, starting to open up and tap into the collective consciousness and really open yourself up to receiving in a greater way. So this masterclass is called The Mind and the Money. And I'll tell you a little backstory of how it came about. My mentor, Bob Proctor, you may or may not have heard of him. You may have found me through Bob Proctor, or you may have just discovered me for me and then have subsequently now learnt about Bob Proctor. But Bob Proctor was my mentor for the best part of the last decade until he passed away in 2022. And I traveled every 3 or 4 months to Toronto, Canada to work alongside of him and be mentored by him since 2015. And I was sitting in a seminar with him one day and we were talking about this work that I was doing in Australia and some of his work that he had brought, that he'd allowed me to bring back to Australia in the original Thinking into Results coaching program, we were talking about doing a seminar one day, and I was like, but what will I call it, Bob? You know, this was before COVID, and I used to do a lot of live events. And he said, well, people really need to understand the mind and they love the money. So why don't we do a seminar called The Mind and the Money? And that's where the original concept of this came about. And we're going to look at the money over the course of the next 3 days, but we're also going to really look at the riches within you and the wealth within you and the power of your mind. And I'm going to teach you and I'm going to show you how to use your mind to get what you really want. See, most people are walking around with this incredibly powerful mind system, but they've never learned how to use it. And so they're achieving results that are well below their potential. And no matter what your results have been up until yesterday, it's still nothing compared to what you can achieve next. You're probably right now operating at about 10% of your true potential. And unless and until you make a committed decision today, it's now, today, to make a decision to shift, the next 12 months, the next 2 years of your life will be much the same as the last year, 2 years of your life, because nothing will have changed. The paradigm will not have changed. And do you really want today to be as good as your life is ever going to get? Because that's what's at stake here. Let's lay it right out on the line right from day one. Do you really want today to be as good as your life is ever going to get? Because unless you get this, unless you begin to make a decision and you learn to change the paradigm and you listen to what I am teaching you and you do exactly what I tell you to do, your results will remain the same. And that's not living your best life. Living your best life isn't just about the houses and the cars and the money and the holidays. It's developing the whole of you. That's the gift that you owe to yourself. And that's what we're going to get into over the next 3 days together. All right. It is time to break out. Let's look at page 2 of your workbook. First page in your workbook. We're going to go straight through this together. Like you, I've accomplished great success, but I also understand what it feels like to have tried in the past and failed at achieving some of the things I wanted. I remember when I was knocking on the door of 30 years old and I thought, why aren't I a millionaire yet? How come I don't have the $1 million business? I was smart, I was educated, I was driven, I was a very hard worker, but my results were less than what I knew I could accomplish. Have you ever felt like that? Type me a yes in the chat. Have you ever felt like, you're capable of more? Right? And you know that you want to do better and have more, but maybe for one reason or another, you either feel like you're stuck or that you've plateaued and you just can't get that breakthrough opportunity. You might have the degrees, you might have the connections, you might have the networks, you might have the passion and the motivation, but you're just still achieving results that are less than what you really want. Type me a yes, because I can relate to that too. I've been frustrated by past results that were less than what I knew I could accomplish. I felt stuck and I've also been not sure what to do next. I remember I've been self-employed now, running my own company for 2 decades. That's over 20 years. And I remember in the middle of my first decade of business, I became very sort of stuck in, what do I do next? You know, what is the next step for me? What is the next goal? Because I'd achieved so much at such a young age, I was stuck as to what to do next. And you could be 25, 35, 50, or 85 and come to that crossroads in your life. What do you really want? What does the next book chapter look like for your life? Well, I'm here to help you and guide you and show you what that can look like for you. Not what I want it to look like, but give you the steps and the system to success to discover that for yourself. I'm going to show you and help you to live your dream life. Grow your business or your career and work the way you want to work. And that for you may be to work less and really enjoy more of life. You know, real high performers, when I say there's an effortless way, sometimes they just can't get their head around the fact that that could even be possible. But what I know definitely is you want to enjoy more of life. Without question, you want more freedom. You want to be able to make the decisions that you want to make, and you want to have the time and money to enjoy the life that you really want. Am I right? Type me a yes in the chat. That at the heart of all of this, freedom is at the heart of it. To think how you want to think, to make the decisions that you want to make, to spend your days with the people that you love, with the activities that bring you the most joy, and have the money to do it. Whatever your beliefs around money right now, it's a lot more difficult if you have a little of it, and it's a lot more easier if you have a lot of it. So let's get you living how you really want to live. I'm going to show you how to turn your thoughts into results, because you can. Turn over the page now and let's look at maybe what's going on for you right now. We are going to, over the course of the next 3 days, look at some of the problems you might be faced with, what the problem is and why you've been stuck or why you've been achieving results less than what you're capable of achieving. I'm then going to share with you a solution, how you can begin to change it, what exactly you can begin to do now to start to create new and better results. And then I'm going to show you how to move into action with it. So problem, solution, action. That's the way I want you to begin to think. We are going to solve your problems and show you how to move forward to begin to create the life that you really want with the time and money freedom to match it. How does that sound? So the first thing we want to talk about is you've been passive about your life. Now, don't take this the wrong way. I know you're highly motivated. I know that you're driven, but quite frankly, you've still been passive about your life. You're just going about day to day creating the same or similar results year in, year out. Now, that doesn't mean the results are bad, right? We shouldn't wait until our results are bad to do something about them. My results are very good, but I get up every day and I study. I work in a very deliberate way to improve my results because that makes my life a well-lived life. It allows me to experience more joy, more happiness, more prosperity. And what I want for myself, I want for you too. And I'm going to show you how to do this. It's like what Earl Nightingale said, the opposite of courage is not cowardice, it's conformity. 97% of the population are just going along doing the same thing day in, day out, creating the same results year on, year out, living in the same paradigm, social, cultural, family, money paradigms. It's time to break out. You know how to do better. And it leaves you feeling frustrated. You haven't made all the changes you'd like to make personally or professionally. I mean, even think about this time last year where you were, and think about some of the positive changes that you've made in the last 12 months, but think about some of the goals that you thought you might have achieved by now, right? You thought you'd be further along at your age, didn't you? And last but not least, you've been letting outside circumstances get to you, and it's very easy to do, and most people live like this, so you're not alone. There is so much coming at you day to day. You're struggling to keep up with the pressures and the demands to be across it all every day. You might be a wife or a father or a parent or a CEO or a soccer coach. You know, you're on multiple boards or committees, and there's just a lot. And it's very easy to begin letting outside circumstances get to you, and your mind becomes overwhelmed and you're just not sure what to focus on next. Well, we're going to help you with that. Where do we need to start? We need to start with the decision. As I said, I've worked side by side with Bob Proctor right up until he passed away, and still to this day, he is guiding me every single day. And the most important lesson that we really never get taught, and the one habit we never really get taught, is to make a decision. And I don't just mean a wish or a hope. I don't just mean a decision that you're prepared to change later. I mean a committed decision. Decision is your magic mental move, and you are going to hear me talk about this every day, over and over again. And Simone and Elizabeth are going to talk to you about making a decision and the significance of making a decision. Because the second you make a committed decision, providence prevails. Most people are wishing and wanting for better results. They're waiting until the money comes. They're waiting until they have the time. They're waiting until their diary clears, without realizing that the only way those things happen is when we make a decision and get on a higher wavelength. You have to make the decision before you see the how, before you see the road in front of you. Wherever you see tremendous success, you must know that someone made a courageous decision, and your only prerequisite for making a decision is, do you want it? Now, I want you to hold that in your heart as opportunities are presented to you over the next 3 days. I want you to hold that in your heart as you think about the goals and the dreams and the results that you really want to create. And I want you to see the significance of a decision like getting a PhD degree in life. I want you to, really lock into this concept that making a decision will change the course of your life right now. I have coached hundreds upon hundreds of people through my coaching programs. I've had thousands of people attend seminars like this, just like you. And without question, When they made a committed decision and they acted on it, their entire life began to transform in front of them. They achieved goals and dreams. They became millionaires. They bought property. They traveled overseas and began to create results that once was just a dream for them. And the same can be true for you. The next thing that we have to look at is our results. We need to make a decision and we need to take stock. The thing is, your results always tell you a true story of what is really going on in your life. So let's take a look at your results and how they happen. Have you ever stopped to wonder why you're getting the results that you're getting or what your results actually are? Results always tell a true story of where our mind is at. We always know where the paradigm, and I'll teach you more about that concept over the next 3 days. We always know where the paradigm is programmed subconsciously by looking at our results. Our results are always a measure of what is going on in our mind. So let's have a look at your results and begin to think about your results. Now, as we do this, I don't want you to get worried about them. I want you to look at them objectively and just see them for what they are. And it's a bit like doing a health check on our mind. We're going to see what programming is there so we can begin to see where our money paradigm is, and we can begin to see where our time paradigm is, and we can begin to see the changes that you want to make. Does that make sense? Type me a yes in the chat if that makes sense so far. If you've got questions so far, you can also write those in the chat and we'll pick them up. So nothing changes if nothing changes. You know, if I want to get better performance out of my car or a computer or an aeroplane, stands to reason that I should buy a bigger car or buy a new computer or fly a bigger aeroplane to give me the boost in performance that I'm looking for. And the same goes for your mind. If you don't upgrade and improve what's programmed in your mind, you can't get better results. You can hold it up to the light, you can kick it in the dirt, you can put it to the acid test, but there's just no getting away from it. If the paradigm doesn't change, the results don't change. So let's have a look at what the results are like so we can start to see where your paradigms are programmed. Do you ever feel like, and you can take some time to journal in the space provided, you don't have enough time to be across your business, your sales, your marketing? You might be running your home, nurturing your relationships, exercising or looking after you. You might be $1 short and a day late. Do you ever feel like that? Journal your thoughts on this in the space provided. I'll give you a minute or so just to sit with that and see where you're at. All right, next question. Is there a gap between how much you are currently earning and how much you want to earn? What is the gap? Write it down and be honest with yourself about this. You know, one of the first questions that I often ask a person when they come to work with me is how much they've ever earned in a year. And most of the time, you know, people will tell the truth. Every now and again, I'll get somebody who won't tell the truth, but I can tell and I can pick that up. And what we're really looking to do with that question is get an idea about where your money paradigm is presently programmed. So what are you currently earning? Gives us a good indication of where your current money paradigm is programmed and what do you really want to earn. And that gives us some indication of the sort of new money paradigm I need to teach you how to build. And then what is that gap? And I'm going to teach you, and unless I teach you how to close the gap, the money paradigm doesn't change. So write that down. How much are you currently earning and how much do you want to earn? You can use round figures or an estimate at this point. You'll intuitively know how much you're currently earning and how much you want to earn. Write those figures down. All right, next question. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you have your ideal perfect day, my friend, where everything is easy, you feel great, you can do what you want when you want with no guilt or limitations. Now really think about that. Either you're judging you or you're worried somebody else is judging you or you don't have the time or the money to do the things that you want in the day, the limitations. So your ideal perfect day, where you can do what you want with when you want with no guilt or limitations, you feel confident and relaxed. How would you rate your current day on a scale of 1 to 10? It's between you and you. Get honest with yourself. Get really honest, and you're on the verge of a quantum leap. And why did you give yourself this rating? Can you articulate where you'd like to improve it? All right, last question. If you could make a quantum leap without working harder, and when I use that word harder, often it's associated with kind of negative energy or stress or overwhelm automatically, because that's the way the cultural paradigm has programmed you. You may need to still be productive and effective, and there might be some days that are longer than others, but it's going to feel joyous when I teach you how to do this. It's going to feel easy. It's going to feel effortless. So I want you to imagine you are now making a quantum leap in it without working any harder, where it now feels easy and effortless and joyous, and you're achieving results that are 10 times more than what you're presently achieving. What would that look like for you? What areas would you like to change or improve? What kind of better results do you want to create? In fact, think about what's drawn you to this seminar with me over these 3 days. What is it that you felt, oh, I could work on that? That's an area of my life I'd like to improve. I want you to think about that. How would it feel if you could achieve these results? I want you to imagine achieving these results within the next 6 months even. You know, I had a client that just finished up in this program, and they achieved a goal within the 6 months of the program that she said they had hoped to achieve within the next 10 years. So when you get into this, it's quite amazing and astonishing what you really can create. What would it look like for you to make a quantum leap? What areas would you change or improve? What kind of better results would you love to create? At this point in time, I don't want you thinking about the how or the strategy or getting worried, because the current you is creating the current results. I'm going to show you how to build a new model of you that can achieve the new results that you really want to create. Does that make sense? Yeah? Put me a thumbs up in the chat if that makes sense so far. So the old model of you achieves the current and past result. I'm going to teach you and show you how to build the new model of you that can achieve and create the new results that you want to create. That's my job. I'm the coach, you're the student, and together I'm going to guide you through this system so that you can build that new model and begin to create the results that you really want. All right, let's have a look here. Move over to the next page. It is much easier to win in a big way than it is to lose. You know, I remember when I started to work with Bob Proctor, I really had to get my ego out of the room. I was very open and I was very coachable at the time, but I also sort of felt a little bit vulnerable because, you know, I was successful, I'd built a business, I'd done some extraordinary things, I'd traveled around the world, but really my results were still a little bit less than what I would have loved. In fact, quite frankly, they were a lot less than what I really wanted. And I had to get my ego out of the room and let Bob Proctor help me. And if that's resonating with you, let me help you, right? No matter what stage of life you're in, no matter the size of your company, your career, your profession, whether you feel like you're earning a little or a lot, let me help you. Give yourself permission to receive my help. And you will very quickly realize it is much easier to win in a big way than it is to lose. But if you stake your hopes for a breakthrough on trying harder than ever, you may kill your chances for success. I had another client, Athena Manley, who came to me and started in thinking into results about 18 months ago, or maybe a little bit longer than that now, actually, 2 years ago. And she said, I followed you online for a very long time, and I just kept on hearing you talk about this effortless way and making quantum leaps. And, you know, she was in corporate forever, you know, C-suite of multinational corporate companies. And she said, I just learnt the effort way. And now I wanted to learn the effortless way. And I have taught her how to do that. And now she has 3 companies, has launched 3 companies, but we weren't going to do that working harder than ever, were we? You know, going for a breakthrough, working harder than ever, that's going to kill your chances for success. What we need to do is build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. So how do you feel about that idea? How would you feel about winning feeling easier? How would you feel about building a new model? How would you feel about going for a breakthrough rather than settling for the current results and just more of the same? Write the intuitive thoughts that come to you around that. All right. The one habit that will change your life is decision, because we can sit here and we can talk about it and we can go over this information and you can get it intellectually. But when you hear the information, you get emotionally involved with the information, you make a decision and you act on the information and you begin to observe the new results show up, that is learning. That is learning that has been integrated with your behavior. And in order to do that, we need to make a decision. So I'm going to talk about decision again. Men and women who succeed in life reach decisions promptly and they change them, if they change them at all, very slowly. The men and women who fail in life reach decisions, if they make decisions at all, very slow them, and they change them all the time. I'm paraphrasing from Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Decision really is your mental move. You have to decide right where you are with whatever you've got that today you draw a line in the sand. From this day forward, things are going to be different for you. You're going to get this. You're going to get into this. You're going to get this system and you're going to begin to build the new model for success. Do you want to transform your life and start making better results in virtually every area of your life? Every area. And I truly mean it. You might be drawn into this to specifically work on a money paradigm, but I guarantee you're going to become happier and healthier. You might come into this to specifically, reduce overwhelm, stress, to start to have more time to pick up your kids after school and spend time with them on the weekends, but naturally your income's going to go up. You're going to start to earn more money. I remember many, many, many years ago when I made a committed decision and I started to study this, and then I got my pilot's license, and I was making these decisions to start to pursue the thing that I really wanted in my life, and my business started to grow. My business at the time started to multiply itself. So when you do this for you and you apply it to one or more areas of your life, you will begin to create naturally, it is naturally for you, that all areas of your life will begin to improve. Even if it doesn't look like that at the time. The universe can be a little tricky sometimes and play a little game with us, but it's always working out for us, and it is always for the greater good, even if it looks like you're not sure about that and when you're in the middle of it, It's a little bit like when you're in the middle of baking a cake, it looks like a mess. But at the end of the day, hopefully the cake tastes good. If you've got the right amount of flour and the right amount of egg and the right amount of milk and the right amount of butter and cocoa powder, you end up with a good chocolate cake. That's what I'm going to teach you. And that's the system that I'm going to give you an opportunity to tap into, is getting the quantities all in the right order. So we're guaranteed to get a great product at the end. If we don't have a recipe or a formula to follow, we're going through life on a hit and miss basis. Is that how you really want to go through life, or would you like a repeatable formula that will work for you time and time and time again? So, do you want to transform your life and start making better results in virtually every area of your life, including time and money? I'm going to count down from 5 and I want to see a big yes written in that chat, and I want you to lean into that yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, yes. Commit to that decision and lean in. Let me help you. Now let's take a look at your results. In this section, we are briefly going to look at your results and how they happen. So, how much money did you earn last financial year? Did you decide definitely to earn this much, or did it just happen that way? So think about it. How much money did you earn last financial year? And did you sit down and say, that's the amount of money I'm going to earn? Or did it just happen to end up like that? Most people go through their entire life never definitely deciding the amount of money that they want to earn. And they just go from year to year hoping for the best, or at best, a little bit better. Why would you settle for a little bit better when a quantum leap is available to you? Next question. How much money do you give away each year to charity? or other causes that are important to you? Why did you decide to do this? Often when I coach people who are earning larger amounts of money, and it's all relative to our awareness, neither a little or a lot is bad relative to our awareness, but they often say, well, I have everything that I really need. Why would I want to earn more money? And you see, the more money you have, the more you can do with it. The more you can express yourself, the spiritual essence of who you are. And we do that, and money gives us the ways and means to express ourselves and to develop our power and potential. And money is a conduit that facilitates that. Having more money also enables us to do things for other people, to support other people or charity or causes that are important to you. So you want to get this very straight right from the beginning, that earning more money and having more money and becoming available to more money is a very noble and wise thing for you to do. And I want you to decide right now to let me help you make yourself more available to that. Let's continue to take a look at your results. What time do you wake up in the morning, and why did you choose this time? Did you definitely choose to wake up at a certain time, or did you just start to wake up at that time? Write your thoughts on that. What time do you wake up in the morning? I wake up every morning at 4:45 in the morning. That gives me around about 45 minutes to get up, make a cup of coffee or a hot water and lemon, and get into the studio by 5:30 for my morning study call with my clients. So 4 days a week at 5:30, we have a group study call. When you're in my coaching programs, you get access to this call. And I have definitely decided to wake up at that time and get myself prepared to be online to study with my clients every morning. That's why I chose this time. It allows me to set up my day really well, and then I have a routine for the end of my day as well. Last but not least, name the 5 people you spend the most time with. How much money do you think they're earning, and are they setting and achieving big goals? You know, we don't want to spend a lot of time with people who are not moving in an upwards direction. People that are growing, that are enthusiastic about life, that are setting and achieving big worthy goals. And the thing is, your paradigms are programmed genetically and environmentally. So the people that you spend a lot of time with does matter. It doesn't mean that we have to love them any less, or the roles that they play in our life, but it's important that we surround ourselves with people who are upbeat, enthusiastic, and positive about life, that are moving in an upwards direction, that are setting and achieving big goals, and are earning the sort of money that we want to also earn, or more, right? And another great question is, would you love your children to grow up and be like the people that you spend a lot of time with? Very quickly, you'll figure out an answer there and where we can make some improvements and changes. And I want you to remember this, because sometimes this question can be very triggering. No one is better than or less than anybody else. I'm not saying because you want to spend more time with people earning more money that the people that you're currently spending time with are no longer good for you, or less than you, or that you should look down upon them. It all exists in awareness, and we cannot get better results beyond our level of awareness. Let me make this very clear. Your results are a product of your level of awareness. And if you're not spending time and energy to surround yourself with people who are growing in your levels of awareness, who have a high degree of awareness, then you're not going to get it either. And so your results are going to remain much the same year in, year out. So we are always in pursuit of expanding our level of awareness. With that greater level of awareness comes new thoughts, comes new ideas, comes new paradigm shifts, and then comes new results. Make sense? Why don't your results change permanently and significantly from year to year? If it was as simple as just setting and achieving a goal, more people would achieve their goals, but they don't. They don't achieve them because of paradigms. It's not where you want to go that's the problem. It's actually where you are. Now, I don't know exactly how old you are, whether you're 30, 40, 50, 80, 16. But one thing I know is the age that you are, you've spent a lot of time becoming that person. If you're 40 years old, you spent the best part of the last 40 years learning to become you. And we don't readily like to change. There is a part of your mind that sees change as a threat. And so when we begin to step out and challenge some of these ideas and these status quos of your life, there is a part of your subconscious mind that wants to hold on and stay in that old paradigm. And it is called a paradigm, a self-image paradigm. Is it a buzzword or something more significant? Let me explain. Your results are not the product of your behavior, but the product of your paradigms. Listen in here. Your behavior is a secondary cause of your results. The primary cause of your results is your paradigm. A paradigm is a mental program, a multitude of habits that condition you to produce certain results. You have a time paradigm, a money paradigm, a productivity paradigm, an effectiveness paradigm, a logic paradigm, a creativity paradigm, and a relationships paradigm. And all of these little paradigms come together to form a self-image paradigm. And we're specifically focusing on two of them, time and money here, because they're very, very closely linked. Most people earn a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time, and that becomes paradigm. And any idea that expands from that is going to need a new paradigm. It's going to need a paradigm shift to take place. Paradigms are formed in the subconscious mind and are transformed through repetition. The constant spaced repetition of a new idea or concept, which doesn't readily happen without the support of a coach or mentor. Now, you can leave these 3 days and not hire me as your coach, not come on board and let me help you. But remember that the paradigm is going to put on a very big fight. And my role as your guide, call me what you like. My guide is to support you and show you exactly what quantities, in what doses to put in to your mind to create that paradigm shift and make it stick. Because we want the paradigm shift to be permanent. And as I guide you through that repetition, you are going to need accountability and support because the old paradigm is insidious. It really is, my friend. It really is insidious. It doesn't want you to win. It doesn't want you to change, even when the change is good for you, even if it would mean achieving a lifelong dream or goal. So the paradigm doesn't readily change without the support of a coach or mentor. And that's why we're here together over the next 3 days, to get to know each other, to look at some of how this is going to work, and to really get you comfortable with saying yes to your yes and moving forward. There are 7 major areas of your life that paradigms control and influence, and we've just gone through those with you on the call now. So your time paradigm, your money paradigm, productivity, effectiveness, logic, creativity, and relationships, and ultimately that all forms a self-image paradigm. So who do you want to be next? I want you to really lean into this question. If everything was possible, who do you want to become? How do you really want to live? What kind of results would you love to create? Because anything is possible when you question the status quo and dare to go beyond and lead the way of your own life. I have a particular airplane that I absolutely love. If this is your first time meeting me, you're like, why so many aviation stories, Karen? If you've known me a long time, you'll know that I'm a pilot and I absolutely love aviation. I love everything about aviation. I grew up with many pilots in my family. But there is one particular airplane that I became very attracted to, and it's called the Praetor 500. It's an Embraer jet. And when you look up the meaning of the word Praetor, it is dare to go beyond and lead the way. And I weave that into as many seminars and trainings as I can, because that's what I want for you to be in your own life, right? To get out there and hunt your goals, to discover them, to become aware. You know, they're not outside of you, they're within you, but we have to look for them. We have to become open to them. We have to open up our awareness and understand that there is this spiritual essence, there is this power flowing to and through you that is showing you your desires. So you want what you want because it is right for you. It is right for you. It is not wrong for you to have the things that you want. It is not wrong for you to earn $1 million a year or $1 million a month. It is not wrong for you to want to live a happy, healthy life, or to grow your business or your team, or take that trip to Italy, or buy the shoes, or buy the house, or drive the car. Your desires are being shown to you by the essence of who you are, the spiritual essence of who you are. You have this power flowing to and through that is constantly revealing to you your desires. And anything is possible when you begin to tap into that. Go beyond the status quo. Don't ask anyone else what you should do. Don't look to what anyone else is doing and compare yourself or judge yourself against it. If you look at what anyone else is doing, know that it's for you too. Anything you see anybody else doing, you can become available to that too. You must get entirely off the competitive plane. If you are to create riches in the true meaning of riches, spiritual, intellectual, emotional, and physical riches, you must entirely abandon the competitive plane. And you must entirely embrace the creative plane, where we create from the source energy. We create from the higher side of who we are, and we begin to experience that new creation on the physical side of life. If you wait until you are ready, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. You know, I love this story that Bob Proctor used to say. He said, most people are tiptoeing through life waiting to make it safely to death. Well, I don't know about you, but I want to be sliding in sideways when I get to the end of my days, looking back, knowing that I really lived the life that I really wanted, and I've left a legacy for generations to come. Most people say that within 100 years, people won't remember your name. Let that sink in for a second. Within the next 100 years, there'll be people, your name won't be known. But you can change that. Live a life that's worth talking about. Live a life that other people will talk about for hundreds of years to come. Your children and your grandchildren. And if you need to do it for them right now, do it for them until you can do it for you. But know that as you develop you, as you become the greater and better version of yourself, and because pure positive source energy is infinite, there's always another level. So we know that. Doesn't matter how good your life is. I have a beautiful life, and still I allow it to improve. I allow it to get better. I let myself have that. And what I want for myself, I want for you too. So let me help you. Do you really want to just keep spinning your wheels for the rest of your life, or going from one year to the next, same or similar results, or just a little bit better when a quantum leap is available to you? You know, never really living out your full potential or being who you were destined to be. You know, get quiet with this. Think about that image, that dream, that picture of yourself that you've seen there for a long time now, that you know is in your heart. Get rid of the cynicism, the doubt, the worry, the judgment, and grow. Just let yourself grow. Let yourself get into this. Really see what you're capable of. You know, I have clients that are setting and achieving goals now that when they first started to work with me was never on their radar. They didn't have the awareness to go for those goals when they first started, but they do now. They do have the awareness to go for those goals now. And that when you get into this, it just gets better and better and better. So that brings us to the end of day one together today. Yay! Good job, everybody. Tomorrow we are going to get into understanding your mind and your paradigms. We're going to dig deeper. Plus the next step to break out I'm going to share with you. I do have a little bit of after work for you. Homework, after work, you call it what you like. You didn't just think because it was free I wasn't going to get you to do anything, right? The coaching, the support, the system starts now, not just when you pay the next lot of money. We're already in the energy of it, and we're in the momentum of it here now. Consider this 3 days of pre-work before you start the next 6 months with me. I want you to read the Decision chapter by Bob Proctor. My team are going to get it to you, and share with us a pearl of wisdom from today's call. Go to our Mindset for Leaders Facebook group. We'll share the link with you, and I want you to go in there and I want you to share a win from today. Share a breakthrough idea from today that really resonated with you. Have a look for the post. We'll tag it and we'll link it for you, and go in there and share a takeaway, particularly if you're on the recording as well. So tap into this energy with us. So your after work for today is to read the chapter on decision and then share a pearl of wisdom in our private Facebook group, and we'll get you the link for that. If you need any help whatsoever, I have the most incredible team that you'll ever meet in the coaching industry, headed up by Simone Bertram and Elizabeth Wood. They have studied and applied this material to their own life. They continue to do it every single day. They are there to help you. We are really quite extraordinary in terms of what we create for you for accountability and support. So tap into it, tap into this lesson, go over it again today, and get yourself really ready and prepped for day 2. So before we sign off for the day, I would love you to share one word in the chat of how you are now feeling. One word. Go inside you. We're practicing our intuition here. What is that one word that pops into your mind or pops into your body to describe how you are feeling at the end of day 1? Once you've shared your word in the chat, you can log off or just sit here and enjoy the music for a little bit longer, and we'll see you back here for day 2 tomorrow. I'm Karen Brook, truly blessed to share this information with you to wake you up to your true potential and then show you the exact steps to turn your thoughts into results. I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care and bye for now.